Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the 10 Count Podcast, brought to you by Bodyslam.net. And I think I've upgraded a tiny bit this week. I am not on my phone. I am on my computer, but I am CM Punking it on the floor with my blur in the background, so you can't really see much because the move is still on. We're slowly unpacking, but the main priority right now is the baby room and for my wife to be as comfortable as possible. So the creation station, as I would call it, the place that I podcast from, is on a halt right now. So new location, on the floor, like CM Punk, my boy. Justin, how you doing today?
Doing well, bro. Well, first off, I know baby is due with what, in like Monday. 10 days?
Yeah, the due date's Monday.
Monday. Oh my God, less than 10 days. So the countdown is real. So side note, if you need time off, you let me know and we'll figure something out, because obviously I've been there and I cannot wait for you guys. It's gonna be so exciting. But yeah, doing great, dude. Can't wait to talk NXT. We have Halloween Havoc this Saturday. But before we get started with all that, I wanted to mention or talk about two things that happened last night. Now, I put out a tweet after seeing both of these things happen, and the tweet that I put out just really truly is how I feel, you know? So here we are, you and I, with Body Slam. We have this platform that we're able to do what we love to do. We've been doing it for quite some time now. We've stuck with our guns and we're still here. But to see, the reason why I love professional wrestling is because anything can happen. Legitimately anything can happen. And there is a friend of mine, a friend of the show, Najee. He has NXT with Najee, also with Body Slam. He is a NXT lifer, pretty much. He has gone, I think he only missed one show at the PC since they moved over there. And he is now moving. He's moving away from Florida. So last night was the last show that he was going to be at. And when NXT went off the air, I'm sure everyone that has seen it has already seen it because it blew up. Pretty much when the show went off the air, Ricky Saints, the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, decided to cut a little promo, and he shouted out Najee. He said that Najee is one of the reasons why they are NXT, his dedication to NXT and the family that they're building at the PC. I just thought it was unbelievable. I thought it was so well done by, Javon Evans was there. So just top-notch work by WWE and NXT to allow that to happen. I think that was such a special moment for such a great guy. So I definitely just wanted to talk about that first. Did you see it? Were you able to watch the video?
Yeah, and the cool thing is, the professional wrestling world, especially within NXT, they're showing that they're giving back to the fans, giving back to the people, who take pride in their program and their content. And when you look at Najee's Twitter, it's just love. Like, all of it is complete love for NXT, for wrestling. And, they should be uplifting those people, right? Those are the people that put their heart and soul into watching the program, to sitting there, their butts in the seat, to buying the merch and the products. Like, those are the people that WWE should be highlighting. So great for him. I mean, what a moment. You can see him getting a little emotional there. I mean, I would be too. I was, envious of him to be in that position, to be able to be, an NXT diehard, a person who for the last 2 years only missed one episode, which is really freaking cool. But it's just showing a trend in professional wrestling that, brands and wrestlers are giving back to the fans that care, that really care about their product. And we've seen it again, with Karrion Kross popping up, and what we're going to allude to in a moment. But for Najee, man, I mean, the dude deserved that moment. He's going to have connections with NXT for life. He'll still be popping up at shows here and there. I can guarantee it. The man's not going to want to step away. I think WWE will make, it possible for him in some capacity, maybe in some of their bigger PLEs. But I just like this movement we're seeing where not only do we see in social media where fans and podcasters and YouTubers and social media influencers are really promoting the brands, now we see a little bit that the brands are giving back to those people who really deserve it.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a right down the road type of thing for Najee. I believe he drives 2 hours to Orlando for, to go to these shows every single Tuesday, which is just incredible. And he had me on his show one night, and he just said like the crowd, they build like a family. So I just thought that was super awesome, super cool for Najee. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And then the other thing that happened last night, I'm scrolling through X, and I see this man Dallas, who is the host of the Humble Roses podcast. So I want to shout that out as well. He was doing a live show of his thoughts on the newest episode, I guess you can say, of the Killer Cross documentary. And I'm assuming all he did was he kind of just threw the stream link into Killer Cross's DMs on X and said, if you're free to join, just join, like shooting his shot pretty much. And the reaction, dude. So he's like an hour into the solo podcast, just talking to the people in chat about Killer Cross's documentary. And then you could just see on his face, it was like, holy shit moment. Like,
the shock and awe, you could tell it like right there live. He's just like, we have a guest. Let me bring him on in. And it's a cool moment to see as well. And, we tried that once, again, so we're a little envious of that spot, but, good for him, man. I mean, what a cool moment for Karrion and Scarlett just to pop up on this podcast when he was literally like highlighting and talking about them. And it just shows, especially why WWE dropped the ball and not giving, the contract, but not giving the desire to have them together or whatever the means be to bring them back. And, the We Want Cross movement and whatnot we've seen on Raw and even now. And it just shows what kind of his character, what kind of person he is. And someone, again, that WWE should have been elevating from the get-go. And, we see him now in the indies doing his thing, still taking over and popping up in random podcasts. So, I shout out Karrion Kross and Scarlett for doing that. I think that's an awesome thing for them to do. It just shows, how much they want to give back to the people that care about them and are giving them a voice, especially, when they have to be a little bit, they could be a little vocal, but if they want to, go back to WWE, they can't really be jerks about it. So, I mean, they can also, give a testament to their fans and the people that believe in them and push them forward by hopping in a podcast. So it's just a cool thing to see.
Yeah. And even though it was like 10 to 15 minutes, that 10 to 15 minutes was something I'm sure Dallas will never forget. And the way he handled it, he wasn't prepared for this at all. And just to see Killer Kross and Scarlett pop into your live stream, it's kind of, I'm sure my heart would have been like going crazy. So I just wanted to, it was such a cool thing. And that's the reason why I love professional wrestling, man. The wrestlers they're human too. They're the nicest people in the world. So I just wanted to bring that up in the beginning of the episode. So shout out to Najee. You deserve it. Shout out to Dallas. So the Humble Roses podcast, go check that out. And NXT with Najee, also check that out. I'm in talks obviously with Najee quite often. And I've been talking to Dallas. We'll try to get both of them on the show at some point just to come on as a guest spot. But shout out to those two. Two awesome moments in the world of professional wrestling last night. But I know we have NXT Halloween Havoc to get to, so why don't we get to it, Ty?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we got an awesome show coming up. Unfortunately, we saw the injury for Sol Ruca during the tag match they had for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on Friday night, which is a bummer. Hopefully it's not too bad. And, I kind of want to start with this. We have Zarya defending for Sol against Blake Monroe for the NXT North American Women's Championship. And, oh man, I am looking forward to this. I love that they brought Blake Monroe out and was like, you can just hand me this championship. I was going to take it from you anyway, but let me glamour up NXT. And dude, I want it. I do want it. I think if Zarya were to lose for Sol, I think that could be a great storyline for when Sol comes back and she's healthy. But at the same time, if Zarya wins, it could also be a great storyline because Zarya's like, look, I defended your championship successfully. I want this championship. I know we're friends. I know we've been buddy-buddy. You've been 2 belts for too long, so now it's my shot. So, I mean, that could be a great heel turn. But at the end of the day, man, Blake Monroe, she's poised. She's ready. I want to see it. So I'm going to go with Blake Monroe and New for this prediction because I feel like it's undeniable for me.
Yeah, I feel like in the situation that they're in right now, they can go either way and they can make it work. This is one of the rare moments where, okay, if you do this decision, it can happen. If you do this decision, it can happen. I'm with you. I would like to see Blake win. I think it could have Zarya start doubting herself a little bit more. And we don't know how long Sol's out for. So I think that was the key point to that whole her trying to give up the title was because they don't know how long she's out for. So if it is only a few weeks, they could have her lose and then just there be, Sol trying to build up Zarya week after week after week. And then just Zarya ultimately getting frustrated where she just goes absolutely ape shit on Sol. And then that leads to the heel turn. I think we've been waiting for the heel turn from Zarya for quite some time now. And either way they go, they can get there. I would just rather see Blake Monroe as champion.
Yeah. And Randy, you put it up. Howdy, my man. Thanks for tuning in as always. But yeah, there's no bad outcome in this one. Would I love for Blake to be champion? Yeah. But like we both mentioned, I think there's an outcome for any scenario for this, for Zarya and Sol Ruca to finally kind of go to blows. And that's what we want. Everyone wants that at this point. I think for the most part, maybe people love them together, but I like that turmoil. I like that character change for either Zarya or Sol. So that's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Let's go into the men's North American Championship. We have our boy, All Ego, Ethan Page going against Dr. Wagner Jr. in a Day of the Dead match. How do you think this one's going to go, Justin?
Dude, seeing Ethan Page in the face paint, I was like, oh, all right, let's do this. It's got to be All Ego, right? I mean, I know that they want to implement the AAA roster, and they have been doing a great job. You know, we're going to see Mr. Iguana, we're going to see La Parka. But yeah, I mean, I can never go against Ethan Page. I don't know why. It's just ever since he's joined NXT, he's just been on a totally different level than he was in AEW. And sure, it'll give more shine to AAA if AAA all of a sudden has an NXT title. But man, I gotta go Ethan Page.
So I'm going to start with, I hope I'm wrong. I feel like we're kind of pointing in the direction of Wagner Jr. to kind of win this. It's a Day of the Dead match. You know, they're kind of playing towards his realm. And, you know, we've been seeing this tease for a while now. And Ethan Page saying, you know, he'll, you know, kick his butt whenever, it doesn't matter. And I don't know. I have an inkling that we're going to see a AAA superstar as an NXT North American champion. And I hope I am wrong. I love this reign. I love this run that Ethan Page has as North American champion. And I want it to keep going. I don't want to see this man lose this championship at all. But there is a side of me that's really leaning towards and new for Dr. Wagner Jr.
I hope you're wrong. I mean, I know you just said it too. I hope you're wrong. Just because, sure, Dr. Wagner Jr. will be on NXT more. I get that. But I feel like there's no way to, like, the only time you're able to watch AAA is when they're having these PLEs, right?
Yep.
So it's not really building up AAA in a way for me. Like, yeah, sure, their superstar is now on NXT more, but you could just do that anyway. You're doing it with Mr. Iguana and La Parka. I just don't see why you would have. I don't know. I feel like it would hurt Ethan Page and NXT in a way, but that could just be me.
Yeah, I think there's a chance for maybe them to showcase AAA superstars on NXT instead, right? So as you said, we see Mr. Iguana and La Parka on this show, but when you put one as a champion, I think it kind of shows a little more, you know, highlight to their characters and stuff. It's not just, you know, them losing championship matches all the time. You know, we have Dominic Mysterio as their champ. So I don't know. I just have a little feeling. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I am bad with predictions anyway. My predictions aren't fully solid, but we'll see how that one goes.
Let me ask you something. So I guess we'll move into the next match. So I will bring up the next match, and that's going to be Leon Slater and Javon Evans versus La Parka and Mr. Iguana. So we have 3 AAA superstars on this show on Saturday, right? You have the tag team and you have Dr. Wagner Jr. The reason why now I can kind of see Ethan Page losing is because I don't think they'll have all 3 AAA superstars lose. Like, why bring all 3 of them over from AAA just to have them all get squashed by NXT superstars?
Yeah.
I don't see Leon Slater and Javon Evans losing. That I do not see happening unless they turn on each other, but I just don't see that happening. So I guess it could happen. I'm going to stick with Ethan Page, but then going into the tag match, I'm going with Leon Slater and Javon Evans, and I still want to see a best of 7 between those 2.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm kind of right in the same wavelength as you with Javon Evans and Leon Slater for this match. If there's no turn, I mean, it's an easy Javon Evans, Leon Slater. Not to diminish Mr. Iguana or La Parka, but those 2 are just the young and up-and-comers, and they are so fun to watch against each other, together. They are just so electric, so enthusiastic, so entertaining, and you know, I think people want to see more of them. And to me, I would rather them see them go against each other. But if they're in a tag team, sure, it's cool. But I think there's going to be a point where we do see a turn. Maybe it's, you know, at Halloween Havoc, but I don't think that's going to happen, especially versus, you know, 2 AAA guys. So I think it's an easy Javon Evans, Leon Slater win for this tag match.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, Let's get into the Broken Hardys for Dark State for the tag titles in a Broken Rules match. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we might see NXT tag titles come back to NXT. I think it could have been a quick run for the Hardys, to not unify, but to hold all these championship belts. But in a Broken Rule match, I know it's technically in the Hardys' backyard. I mean, their realm, whatever you want to call it. But all 4 members of Dark State are going to be involved. Like, it's obvious. They're going to use their numbers advantage. I don't think there's any DQ or anything. So they're going to do what they can to win this match, and I think they will. So I think we're going to see Enu. I think we're going to see Dark State kind of take those NXT championships back.
So this is a question to where now we're getting the Broken Hardys, right? They went into the Lake of Reincarnation. I know WWE the last time they were around, obviously Matt Hardy was Woken Matt Hardy, and that was because there was a dispute between TNA and Matt Hardy and who owned the Broken franchise or trademark, whatever you want to call it. I think it's cool because now that they have this partnership with TNA, they're allowing the Broken universe actually into WWE, which is, I know WWE's been dying for these characters for years. So it's really cool to finally not get Woken Matt Hardy, but Broken. And I don't know, man. I'm going with the Hardys. I'm going with Broken Matt and Brother Nero. But my question now is, now that they've jumped into the Lake of Reincarnation, are they taking the Broken personas into TNA as well for a little bit? Or do we think this is just a one-off for Halloween Havoc?
I don't know, man. I think it can go either way, but I feel like lately it's just going to go back to the Hardy Boys. I think this is just going to be a one-off as them being broken, and then maybe something happens in the match where they revert back or something. But I guess we'll see. I wouldn't be opposed to that either way. I mean, I'm a fan of the Hardys just being the Hardys right now, especially with all their championships. The Broken side is more gimmicky to me, but it's also a fun gimmick. I don't hate on it. It's fun as hell. And we still see moments where, Matt's doing the delete and he does call Jeff Brother Nero. So I don't know. I personally think it might be a one-off, but we'll have to see.
And it's the first time we're getting Brother Nero in WWE because obviously when he was Woken Matt, when he was turning Broken or Woken Matt, I could not get enough of it. I was watching Raw, waiting for just a little 5-second segment of Matt Hardy because I think the whole gimmick is complete genius. And then obviously it kind of fluttered out a little bit, but then it picked back up once him and Bray Wyatt teamed up together, which was incredible. We see, I think at the time you got to see backstage, Matt Hardy and Jeff meet up, and then you see Bray come into it, but it was never Brother Nero. So
it was Bray said in that moment, Brother Nero.
Oh yeah, but Jeff Hardy was Jeff Hardy. He wasn't He wasn't Brother Nero.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think WWE's been waiting to do this. TNA is obviously going to allow it. So, and I guess whenever they want to just go back, they could just jump back into the Lake of Reincarnation and just become the Hardy Boys again. So I'm all about it. I kind of hope it sticks for a little bit with the Broken universe, just because I love it so much, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it helped really push Matt to a new level too. I mean, talk about trying to change yourself up. It was the perfect way. And say what you want about Matt Hardy. I've always been a fan of him, even on a singles run. People kind of shit on his singles run before he became Broken. And I mean, it just shows that Matt's been around this long for a reason. He's won championships all over the world for this reason, singles and tag team. So, I mean, and we get to see this fun moment here where they can go head to head with Dark State. And I'm just curious to see what kind of things we see pop up. And I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I think if they do it right, it could definitely be match of the night. And it's going to be produced and shot with WWE's, WWE's producers and shooters and writers and stuff like that. So who knows what kind of level they can bring that to as well, because TNA in the past, when I've seen things with, the Broken Compound and stuff like that, it was a little, lesser on the production scale. But now you have the juggernaut behind it. What are we going to see?
I mean, that promo video last night was immaculate. I was like, holy shit. The production quality was just absolutely out of this world. So yeah, I can't wait to see what they come up with, because the minds of Matt and Jeff Hardy, with the full backing of, what they have going on now, it's going to be great.
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's get into Ricky Saints and Trick Williams, NXT Championship. I think this is an easy win for Ricky. I hope Trick goes on to the main roster. I've said this so many times in the past. I think I said it last week. The man's just poised and ready just to be main roster talent. He could be world champion tomorrow, in my opinion. And I want to see that. The man deserves it. He's a freaking workhorse. I was always a fan of Trick, but then us going to Slammiversary and the aura and his presence, man, is just a whole nother level in person. He just has it. Fortunately, he's not going to have it against Ricky Saints. I think Ricky Saints is going to retain, but I think it's going to be good for Ricky. I think it's going to be good for Trick. I think either way, Ricky coming out on top, it's not going to hurt either one of these two.
I'm with you. It's Ricky Saints for me. And dude, I think he cut his best promo of his NXT career last night.
Yep. Sitting
across from Trick Williams, he just let it all loose. He let it all out. Incredible stuff. And yet I'm with you. I think Trick, it's almost time for Trick to go up, man. What else is there for him to do right now in NXT? He's done it all. He's proven that he's a draw. He's proven that he has, like you said, it. So I'm hoping that management is figuring out what they want to do with him up on the main roster, because I think Ricky's going to win, and then I just don't know where you go from here with Trick. So Ricky Saints for the win. He is the blood, sweat, and tears of NXT right now. It is his house. So yeah, Ricky Saints for the win. And still,
I love how he is, as you're mentioning, like how he's like, this is my NXT and stuff. Like he's really taking us on. I mean, the man beat Obafemi. How do you beat Obafemi but then lose to Trick Williams right after? So that's another reason why I think that. Which hopefully we see Oba soon. I don't know. I'm missing him already. So last but not least, we have JC Jane defending her NXT Women's Championship against Tatum Paxley. How do you see this one going?
Well, you know how this goes. whatever we say, it doesn't happen. Now I'm gonna go. I think JC still wins here. She obviously has a new member of Fatal Influence and Laney Reed. So I think obviously Fatal Influence will play a factor. I don't know if the culling is going to have as much of a impact in this match. So yeah, I'm going to go end still JC Jane.
Yeah, I'm done doubting JC. Simple, plain put. I like that they let Tatum kind of, fight back against Fatal Influence and kind of take him out a bit. So it shows, she can fight against the odds, but when push comes to shove and it's for the championship, I think JC Jane's going to retain.
Yeah, I'm with you. And especially now, like I said, with Laney Reed now in the mix, I think it brings new life to Fatal Influence. I would love, don't get me wrong, I would love to see Tatum Paxley with the upset win. I think that would be incredible. Obviously, the journey she's had in NXT, her losing friends left and right to being released, her playing into that. I think that's just been incredible. And I mean, obviously, Lyra going down to NXT, seeing her for a little bit, saying hello, whatnot. Tatum definitely deserves a shot, but I just don't think it's yet.
Yeah. Let's dig into Seth Rollins, man. We got a big injury from Seth. He got beat down by the Vision. He is not the Visionary. He is not the Revolutionary. He's not the World Heavyweight Champion anymore. He's been officially stripped. I love the Braun Breaker coming to Raw with the championship. I love him telling Adam Pearce say please. I love Adam Pearce throwing it right back in their face and taking them out of the Battle Royal, because at the end of the day, if they would have went Punk versus Braun Breaker, you can't have Braun Breaker lose that. You can't. It's just not going to happen. And it feels like, to me, after Jay won the Battle Royal, that they want someone with high star power, aka CM Punk, to hold the World Heavyweight Championship. That's my own opinion. I could be completely wrong. Maybe Jay wins. But, Seth was their guy. He's larger than life. And right next to him is CM Punk. So, to me, I think this decision is just to keep more eyes. I think this is a TKO decision too. I think they want someone with that kind of star power to hold the championship. We've seen him at football appearances, hockey appearances. Like, he was just at the 49ers game. He was on the field talking with George Kittle. Like, CM Punk is everywhere, and everyone knows his face. Everyone knows who he is. So if Seth Rollins can't be around, why not put that championship on CM Punk?
Jay was also at that 49ers game. They were both there. I'm with you. I think Punk is going to end up winning. How did you feel about Jey Uso winning that Battle Royal?
I was fine with it because of how it happened. With him getting saved by Jimmy twice, and then shoving his brother in LA Knight over the top rope with no remorse. And to me, that is going to set up. I know Jimmy and Jay had an awful bout at WrestleMania. It was not good. It was very lackluster. We thought those two being twins wrestling together all these years, they were to put on a stunner. I think they kind of just got caught up in the moment and the emotions and in making that match, trying to make it too perfect. But then I think they probably overthought that. But I think we have this chance where Jimmy's going to get fed up with Jay trying to be Roman Reigns and this selfish lifestyle, because they're, at the end of the day, they've always been twins. They've always had each other's back. I know we had Jimmy turn on Jay, but it all comes full circle because Jimmy stopped Jay for one of the championships, so he didn't turn to be Roman, and look at him now. So I think Jimmy's going to now try and take it in his hands again to screw over his brother and say, I have to stop you before you become what I don't want you to be, and that's Roman Reigns.
So you think Jimmy is going to turn on Jay? Is that what you just so? Because I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the internet saying that this sets up Jay's heel turn.
Yeah,
but it was also like, if you go back to the backstage segment when they're talking, like Jay said, like, I'm gonna go after you too. Like, I'm gonna win that. Like, if I have to go through you, I will as well. So like, he kind of told him, So I don't see, like, I think that held back from like a heelish, like, sure, he did what he did to win, but interesting. So you think it's going to be Jimmy that turns on Jay?
Well, I think so, because the one shot at the end of the night where it was CM Punk and Jay face to face, and right in the middle of them on the ramp is Jimmy, pissed the hell off, grilling, staring directly at Jay. So to me, even Jimmy said it is a little confusing, because Jimmy did say, like, I'll go through you. And that's why Jay said, I'm going to go through you too if I need to. But to me, it was more like, let's save each other for the end and see who's the best. And Jay was like, nah, I got to win my championship back. See you, bro.
All right. I know I can see that, because I don't see them turning Jay heel. And that's where I was a little confused by the noise that I was seeing on X and on the, on all social media, was that, oh, this sets up for Jey Uso's heel turn, for him to become his version of the tribal chief. But then you're getting rid of all the merch, like all the Yeet merch is pretty much gone at that point. Yeah. So there was a few things that were holding me back to seeing, a heel Jey Uso, but I can definitely see Jimmy doing it. And then obviously, Roman says he doesn't want to see them until Christmas. So I'm wondering where Roman ends up playing into all of this down the line.
We won't know until probably Royal Rumble, so it won't matter.
Survivor
Series? Matter. It's after Christmas. He doesn't want to see him after Christmas.
That's
Royal Rumble, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what plans they have for Roman. I can see down the line, probably in the near future, a year or two from now, we have that match where Jay becomes the tribal chief from Roman. I think that's where it's kind of gearing up to. We talk about long-term storytelling, especially in Triple H's world. I know he's probably got a little pushback now that TKO owns him, but he's always been a big fan of long-term storytelling. We still see it to this day. So I could see this being the start of where Jay and Roman will eventually face, and Jay will take the ownership of the Ulufala and become the tribal chief.
So now let me ask you when and where, because obviously we know Braun Breaker wants that world title. When and where does he assert himself?
I feel like it's got to be a good moment, man. Maybe I feel like WrestleMania is too far out, but it also would be a great moment. Maybe you can do Royal Rumble, maybe Elimination Chamber, but I think CM Punk, to me, I feel like this is a business decision to keep Punk probably till WrestleMania, to get people in the seats in Vegas. And for Braun Breaker to beat CM Punk in Vegas at WrestleMania, it's huge. It would be freaking tremendous. But I could definitely see it being sooner. I feel like in this instance, I would love to say that the Vision would interfere in this match to try and show some dominance. I don't think it makes sense. Maybe they lay out both of them and someone takes advantage of it. But I think they need to be relevant in the story, but not maybe facing them. And I think they're doing a good job with Adam Pearce kind of like putting them out of the title picture because of what they caused. So maybe Adam Pearce will be the one that's kind of, setting them aside. And we've seen this before with Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker, especially for the Intercontinental Championship. He's like, why am I not in these when he first came to Raw? Why are you holding me back? So we've seen this, this kind of issue between Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker before, and maybe we're just going to see it again.
All right. And then, okay. All right. I see it, just because with the turn of the Vision, if that's even what they're considered now, it's so hot right now that I feel like, so I don't want to see them interfere in Jay and Punk, because then that just gets us nowhere, essentially. So I feel like it has to be by war games now, because I think with Seth Rollins now being hurt, I don't know, but I feel like creative has to drastically change these war game plans, because there, you see all the talks about it being the Vision plus, Brock and whoever else. And, we fantasy booked a super huge fantasy war games match, but now Seth is gone. He's on the shelf. So we know that there's going to be a women's war games match and a men's war games match. There's speculation that it's going to be the MFTs versus, the Wyatt Six sort of in a war games match now. Could you see that happening?
Yeah, I think that's the route they're going to go. I mean, it's an easy swap, in my opinion. It's the face-off they had at SmackDown was awesome. I love this kind of revival of the MFTs. They were kind of getting a little stale out there, but we're getting this like guerrilla warfare style MFTs with the face paint, and I'm here for it. I think it's awesome. I love hearing Tama Tonga go, yeah, just facing off against the Wyatt Six. It's a clash I think everyone wants to see, but at the same time, I feel like it's not like war games, like that big of a match to put them, or that big of the card to put them in that match, right? Because when we think about war games, it's like the main event players, it's the cream of the creme who are fighting in those cages. But I think they'll tear the house down if they were to go that route. I think it would be a great decision for them to go MFTs versus Wyatt Six.
And I mean, fantasy booking again, because I'm allowed to do it because it's our show. Wouldn't you love to see the Righteous appear and help the Wyatts?
It'd be so good. That'd be so freaking perfect.
Right? I'm just, just fantasy booking it, trying to manifest that out into the atmosphere. but we are now at the 40-minute mark. I know you're probably getting tired of sitting on your floor.
I'm good, dude. I don't mind the floor.
No, I hear you. Thank you all for joining us. Ty, next time we talk,
I might be a dad.
You're most likely going to be a father. So I want to give you a quick and early welcome to fatherhood. It is the greatest thing in the world, especially to a little boy. It's just the greatest thing in the world. So I feel this time last year, it's so weird. Like this time last year, I was getting ready to be a dad. And now this year, you're getting ready to be a dad. So It's kind of crazy where we're seeing life take us. But I couldn't be happier for you and your wife. Cannot wait to hear about it and see pictures. So just congratulations in advance to you and your wife.
Thank you.
To everyone else, thank you for joining us on the 10 Count podcast, all 265 of you. Please go subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon for exclusive breaking news, interviews, podcasts, and more. The link is right down below me. Please go subscribe to our socials at the 10 Count Pod on all social media, especially YouTube, where you can get all of our clips and our episodes get downloaded there. So maybe not Sunday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's up in the air. It's always up in the air, but don't worry. The quick count will be coming back. I promise you. It's on the list, but there's just been so much going on, but all good things. It's good things that are going on, and that's what matters. But let's ring that bell because this 10 count is over. Once again, thank you all for joining us tonight. You can go give me a follow on X at JStar02. You can follow Ty at TLP_maximum on X. And hopefully until Sunday, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy Halloween Havoc. Enjoy SmackDown. Enjoy AEW. Enjoy TNA. Just enjoy life in general and professional wrestling. Until then, we will see you later.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.